Happy Friday. So happy to have everyone here. And I'm excited to jump into today's conversation and talk a little bit about 2026. So before I jump in, I'm Emily Olhausen. I am a women's life coach, and I work with women who are ready to feel more aligned in their day-to-day living. They know you're feeling stuck and you know something's off, but you're not quite sure either where to start or how to identify where you're really stuck. I really love helping women move forward and creating more peace, clearing the mental clutter, and growing their confidence. So thank you so much for being here today. And these next few weeks are really important because there is so much noise out there around Christmas, around the new year, around goal setting, and ironically a lot of noise around not goal setting, which I think we really tilted things on its head here when we talk about we used to be so resolution based generation. If you're watching this, you're probably in my generation or you are maybe a little bit older, but you probably experienced that shift of where we were focusing so much on what's your resolution going to be? What's going to happen January 1st, and then for me, the way that my mindset was for so long, and this is where I learned so much about mindset, was this crash course about, okay, well, I'm going to do whatever I want for, now until January 1st, and then January 1st, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just absolutely switch everything. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to reach my goals. I'm going to work out every day. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to show up in my career differently. I'm going to go to social groups, right? We try to do this whole flip. And then now what we're experiencing and what I've experienced on social media is this, it's almost taboo to have a New Year's resolution, which I don't really think is that beneficial as well. I always like to think about setting goals as putting in an address on your GPS. And when you have your GPS going somewhere, you're going to get in the car, you're going to travel this way, you're going to go, let's say, I'm in South Carolina. Let's say we'll go to New York. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. And that's where my GPS is set. Now, how I get there, I might take the highway, I might take the scenic route, right? The last time I went to New York, I hugged Lake Erie, I took the scenic route into my hometown. And the main thing that's important is that you have the GPS set. And so to go completely opposite of setting any resolution isn't beneficial. There has to be an in-between. So having a resolution, but also knowing that how you get to your end goal might not look like what you're thinking. It might not show up in the way that you thought it would, right? If your goal is to lose weight or to make an extra, $50,000 this next year, right? So you have to have that GPS set in order to know that you want that. For your brain to say, okay, this is important for me. This is something I'm looking for opportunities. I'm cognizant that this is my goal rather than not having anything at all. If this is landing, please put an emoji in the chat because this is something I'm super passionate about. And I'm passionate about it because it's something that I've had to personally overcome. This was my sweater's just, this is something that mindset-wise, I was stuck on for so long. I can't tell you how many Mondays I started over. How many, next month. How many, Monday I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m., I'm going to get it right. And it took a long time for me to just say, hey, today's the best day to get started. If today's Friday, if today's the only day that you work out this week, then it's better than waiting around 3 more days and taking a chance. It's if you have that energy to do something positive for yourself, then you should. It took a lot of time though. And so one of the things I want to chat about is the all or nothing mindsets. It's very similar to goal setting or not goal setting. When we go in with this all or nothing mindset of, okay, it's December, my goals, I didn't really reach them, which I want to dig into more because, like, did you really set them? And also, what actions did you have to help you get there to reach your goals? There's so much about goal setting that is frustrating for me as a mindset coach. I'm just going to be honest with you, because there's so much left on the table. There are so many more questions that you have to ask versus like, oh, hey, I'd love to hit this goal. Like, oh, hey, I'd love to have, $10,000 months, or, oh, hey, I'd love to lose X amount of pounds, or, hey, I'd love to be more present with my family. What does that mean? Right? How do you get there? And so then we get lost in the reverse engineering of it. Can you guys like chime in if this is making any sense to you? Chime in. But we get lost in the reverse engineering of it. Most of us are aware of like the whole SMART goal, which is a great thing to have. But on our way, we also forget to check in. What's actually realistic? What is something that is sustainable and is actually going to give me the energy and the frequency to pursue this goal time and again, no matter how many obstacles there are that come in my way. And so the all or nothing mindset really puts us in a spot of okay, if I'm going to set a goal for January 1st and my all or nothing mindset says, well, screw it, for December, I'm going to eat what I want. I'm going to, I'm not going to feel good. I'm not going to exercise. I'm not going to pursue my hobbies. I'm not going to do X, Y, Z because I'm just going to wait till January 1st. I'm calling bullshit. Calling bullshit on it. You can't wait until January 1st because what you're banking on is that you're going to change your life overnight, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I'm sorry to say, it's taken me a lot of years to get to the point where I can confidently tell you it's not going to happen. And for maybe the 0.5% of you that it does change overnight, you're still going to have a lot of obstacles along the way. And so for me, I want you to think today, okay, this is what I want January 1st. I really want to start pursuing my health more. All of us on some level are on a health journey. We know that we have to do better. It's so true. And so that just becoming 1% better starting today, then you're going to be, 25% better by January 1st. Every day you're going to compound these habits, right? So say, okay, January 1st, your ideal goal would be to start living healthier. Okay, what can you do today? It doesn't have to be maybe you had a fast food breakfast, but maybe you can have a better lunch. And again, I always like to go back to health because so many of us are stuck in this because there's a lot of noise around health. There is a lot of shiny object syndrome around our health and what we're supposed to do. But at the end of the day, it's who you are becoming along your health journey. And so what's the 1% you can do today? How can you show up towards that person that you want to see on January 1st or January 31st? Go ahead. If you have any questions, go ahead and pop on. I'm going to pull up my question box. But this is just really important for me, and you're going to hear me talk about this time and again because as we kind of... Oh, I think I just froze. As we kind of move into the new year, as a alignment coach for you, I want you to feel in alignment when you set goals. I wanted to give you an energetic boost, and I also want you to feel that you truly can realistically pursue this and accomplish a goal. It doesn't have to be a huge monumental task. It doesn't have to be the craziest goal you've ever set. All I want is for you to know that you can reverse engineer this, and there are more questions to be asked if you're not sure how to get there. I always go back to my one of my favorite conversations I've had is with a client of my now client. We were talking about New Year's goals, and this was last year. We were talking about New Year's goals, and she was like, I just really want to be more present. I want to be able to shut down my work at the end of the day, be with my family. And I asked her, I said, I love that so much. Tell me, like, what are you going to do differently to get there? And she said, I have no idea. And I think that's the moment that needs to happen. That's the moment of you need to have someone in your corner asking you those questions, whether it's me, whether it's a significant other, a friend, but it's like, well, what are you going to do differently to get to that spot so that you can accomplish that? So then we dove in more and we talked about, like, okay, what are some things that are out of alignment here, right? What you're truly desiring is to be, when you're at home, to be at home and be fully present with your 2 kiddos. But what's actually happening is you're compromising on small actions while you're at home. You're sending that work email, you're picking up your phone, you're becoming more tied to your business than you are to your family. And so how do we get back into that center place where we feel really fulfilled and that we can have both things? We deserve to have both things. So I want you to consider that today. And I want to personally invite you to hop on a coffee chat with me, because somebody asking you these questions is going to be paramount for you to actually reach a new level next year, whatever that level is. And I also want to encourage you to set a goal, to daydream it up. I want you to get out a piece of paper, set a timer for 5 minutes, and write down everything that you want to do. Because here's the thing, whether you believe it or not, that's true. I know you've heard that quote. I know it. But it's said time and time again because it's true. And so when you sit down and you write these things out, get it out of your head, put it on paper, the things that you want to do. It doesn't matter if it feels silly, doesn't matter if it feels, small and nuanced. I want you to write it down. And then that next step is I want you to book a coffee call with me, a coffee chat with me, 20 minutes, and let's dive into how we can make this a reality. Let's dive into that next step, right? You want more of a peaceful life. You want to be more present. Okay, well, there's something right now that's stopping you from having that. So we need to identify that and work on getting back to center. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this chat today. I know I came at you with some passion, which that's what I'm here for. And I'm going to go ahead and drop my link below, 20-minute coffee chat with me. There's no pitch. It's just true, genuine coaching that I want to give to you and kind of help you just assess where you're leaking energy, where you're maybe misaligned, and where you can kind of get back to center. So I'll drop that below. I hope to chat with you soon, and there will be another great call next Friday to come. And I also would love to encourage you to just pop on a poll, comment below, like, what day of the weeks can you make these calls live? Because as the year starts to unfold, one of my goals is to have more connection time with you. Again, I'm setting my own GPS. My goal is to have more connection with you. And for me to have that, I need to be in communication, and I want to know, like, how can I serve you? How can I, make this more accessible for you in the future? All right. Well, I hope you have a great day. I can't see any comments, but thank you so much for being here, and I will chat with you soon. Have a great weekend.